Well, friends, Donald Trump's nominee for Attorney General, Pam Bondi, had her Senate confirmation hearing today. Are we confident that she will be a fair and impartial Attorney General on behalf of all of the American people? Will she be independent of Donald Trump's worst instincts? Or is she just going to be another Bill Barr? Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, did you see Pam Bondi's Senate confirmation testimony today? You know, during my decades with the Department of Justice, I worked for lots of attorneys general. I worked for AGs appointed by Democrat and Republican presidents. And I have to say, what I saw of Pam Bondi today, some of what she said and some of what she refused to say, made me wince. And worse, it made me concerned for the future independence of the Department of Justice. Let's start with the new reporting. This from the BBC. Justice Department will never have an enemies list, Trump pick tells senators. That's a good thing. The article begins. President-elect Donald Trump's cabinet picks faced questioning from senators ahead of votes on their nominations. Pam Bondi, who's nominated for Attorney General, told senators the Justice Department will never have an enemies list, an idea originated by Trump's pick for Federal Bureau of Investigation head, that would be Kash Patel. She, Bondi, also swerved on questions on the result of the 2020 election. Swerved is a nice word for it. Here's how NBC News put it. Democrats grilled Bondi on whether she would be independent from Trump, and Bondi repeatedly refused to say whether Biden legitimately won the election. So, an election denier as the next Attorney General? My editorial addition. Back to the BBC reporting. A good portion of Pam Bondi's confirmation hearing has been focused on the 2020 presidential election and her role as a lawyer helping Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the results. But several Democratic senators have also taken aim at someone who is not under the committee's scrutiny yet. Both Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut and Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island referenced Kash Patel, Trump's controversial pick to head the Federal Bureau of Investigation after the current director, Christopher Wray, resigned 7 years into his 10-year term. Resigned because Donald Trump announced he was going to kick him out. Again, that's mine. Bondi said she was not familiar with some of Patel's more controversial comments and denied that a list of current and former federal officials he, Patel, included in his 2023 book, Government Gangsters, as members of the executive branch deep state would be targeted for retribution if he, Patel, became FBI director. The Department of Justice will never have an enemies list, she said. And friends, if we can take Bondi at her word, that if confirmed as Attorney General, there will be no enemies list at the Department of Justice. You know, even if Kash Patel becomes the director of the FBI and maybe he tries to sneak in his little enemies list, I don't know, maybe hide them in his cash socks. Yes, friends, that's right. Kash Patel is selling socks online. There are his Fight with Cash Punisher socks. No, I am not making that up. There's his logo, K$H. But I'm sure all the best FBI directors have online merch shops. Well, one thing that Bondi did emphasize today in her testimony is that if Kash Patel ends up, God help us, being confirmed as the next director of the FBI, she made clear that he will be under her. She supervises Kash Patel. She is his superior as Attorney General. And she made it clear repeatedly that there will be no enemies list at the Department of Justice if she is the AG. Now look, I am not prepared to assign Pam Bondi point of light status, but that's something if her word can be trusted. And that's a big if, friends, because some of Bondi's other Senate confirmation testimony today included the following. When she was asked about Donald Trump's statement, audio recorded statement that we've all heard 1,000 times, what he said to Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, just find me 11,780 votes and declare me the winner, Pam Bondi testified that she hasn't really heard that statement. When she was asked about Donald Trump's statements and posts regarding how the January 6 defendants who committed crimes at the Capitol and were convicted of those crimes, whether those people are hostages and patriots, Bondi said, she wasn't really familiar with Donald Trump making those statements. But perhaps worst of all, she steadfastly refused to answer the question about whether Joe Biden was legitimately elected. So, with answers like that, and people like Kash Patel, sock merchant, waiting in the wings, is it any wonder that today we saw a headline like this from the Associated Press? Few U.S. adults confident Justice Department and FBI will act fairly under Trump. Poll finds. And that article begins, as President-elect Donald Trump's pick for Attorney General Pam Bondi prepares for questioning, only about 2 in 10 U.S. adults are extremely or very confident that the Department of Justice will act in a fair and nonpartisan manner during his, Trump's, second term, a poll finds. Their faith in the neutrality of the FBI is similarly low, according to the poll from the Associated Press NORC Center for Public Affairs Research, which was conducted before the beginning of the confirmation hearings for Trump's cabinet. Even some Republicans express uncertainty in the Justice Department and the FBI, suggesting that even once they take office, Trump and his allies may find it challenging to restore trust in the law enforcement agencies they've heavily criticized. And of course, Donald Trump has heavily criticized our nation's law enforcement agencies because they have gone about trying to hold him accountable for his crimes. You know, friends, if Pam Bondi is confirmed as Attorney General, let's hope for the best. She was a career prosecutor, I believe, for a couple of decades before becoming a 2-term Attorney General for the state of Florida. Let's hope that her career of serving the people of Florida has instilled in her the strength, the determination, the resolve to stand up to Donald Trump's lawlessness. Because especially at the Department of Justice, yeah, you got it, friends. Justice matters. As always, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.